What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today on Thursday. If you have not already, check out the college football video for the week. But we are here with week number 9 in the NFL season, and we got a decent week. I mean, the games aren't great, but there are some decent games sprinkled out. Last week we did pretty well. Sitting on the season, we're 73 and 50, 59% accuracy. Starting to really hit our rhythm. But when I'm talking about games that are just not really feeling it, we started off with with tonight's game, the Thursday night game, Houston Texans versus the Jets. Now let's be honest about the Texans. No. I get that they have a winning record. I get they're solid. Not the Texans team we thought that they were. They have not looked super great. They've played in a lot of close games. C.J. Stroud still feeling like, I don't necessarily know if you can call it a sophomore slump, but kind of still feels like he's figuring it out this season, whereas last year we all were raving about how great C.J. Stroud was, so to the point where people might have been saying, hey, C.J. Stroud could have an MVP caliber season this season. He's not necessarily taken a step back, but came back down to earth a little bit. Then you look at the Jets. The Jets, I said it when they traded for Davante Adams, was not the problem. Receiver room was not the problem. Al Lazard was playing fine. You had talent in that room. Mike Williams was there, obviously doing pretty well at that time. You obviously have Garrett Wilson, big-time target hog. Receiver wasn't the problem. Proved not to be the problem. But the tricky part with this Jets team is predicting them. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because you don't know if we're going to get the Aaron Rodgers that comes out and throws 4 touchdown passes, or you don't know if this is going to be one of those games where just Aaron Rodgers not able to get the ball out quick enough because that offensive line is so bad that Aaron Rodgers just gets sacked 6 or 7 times. Really, I thought what they needed to be doing was focusing on the offensive line. They didn't do it, but they have the talent to win this game. But I'm tired of watching the Jets on primetime, man. I'm just tired of it. They're usually not great games. Texans win this, 1 confidence point. Not super high on either team at the moment. Not a game I'm particularly excited for later this evening. Then we got Dallas versus Atlanta. Another game not super excited for. The Dallas Cowboys have been miserable every time I've watched them this season. The offense just stalls. And then late in the game, you start to see them pick it up because now they have to start playing better if they're going to try to win. The Falcons been better than I thought they would be, but the Falcons not a team necessarily that I think is going to go win a Super Bowl this year or anything like that. But this team has the recipe to beat the Cowboys. You look at the teams that have been balling out the Cowboys, they're just solid teams like a Falcons. So the Falcons could easily put the Cowboys away pretty early. I'm going to ride with the Falcons for 2 points, but once again, Cowboys have all of that talent. You think eventually somebody will start clicking. We'll see if it's this week. That's why I only have 2 confidence points on it. My contact is in a weird position. It felt weird there for a second. Next, we only got 3 confidence points on this next one. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's just games that aren't really... This is going to be a good game. Don't get me wrong. But games I'm not super confident on what's going to happen this week. Dolphins versus Bills. I think the Dolphins will lose this game. But the Dolphins obviously looked better with Tua. And with Tua, it is capable that this Dolphins team is able to win with Jalen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill, with Devon Achane, with Raheem Mostert. They're a good team. I know this season they haven't been particularly great because they've been using backups. Tua makes a huge difference. The Bills should win this game. Will they? I don't know. I don't know if the Bills will win this game, so we're going to find out here shortly this weekend. And then we finally get to a game that I have some confidence in. Finally, we have the Raiders versus the Bengals. Raiders looks like they're going to be going back to Minshew. I believe they're the team that picked up his His name's blanking on my mind right now. Desmond Ridder. I believe they're the team that picked up Desmond Ridder. Don't think he's going to be starting, but it should be Minshew. Jacoby Myers, I know, has been questionable. He's been pretty much questionable all season, it feels like. Got him on a fantasy team. It always says questionable, and then he either goes or doesn't go on a Sunday. So it's kind of 50-50 with him every week. But the Raiders, with Minshew, he gives you a chance. But the Bengals, must-win game. Burrow said it yesterday. If the Bengals are going to be a playoff team, they cannot lose the game. I believe they're 3-5 on the season. The Bengals are in a must-win scenario, or else, in order to make the playoffs, they might have to look at winning out. Right now, if you look at the AFC, they're 3-5. The Colts are 4-4. The Colts you expect to fall off. The Broncos 5-3, Ravens 5-3, Chargers 4-3. You expect the Ravens to be in there. The Broncos have looked good, so that's a problem. And then the Chargers are another team that I think is pretty good. So unless you're hoping for a Texans fall off, they already have 6 wins. The Chiefs are undefeated. They're not falling out. The Steelers maybe. I know the Steelers are 6-2. Don't think they're great. The Bills, they're going to probably be around. And Miami is going to probably start to make a little bit of a push. So the Bengals really need a win this week if they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. I'm not saying they're eliminated, but it is an uphill battle if you go down 2 games out of the wild card now, especially a Bengals team that hasn't been particularly great, a Bengals team that has T. Higgins struggling to stay on the field with injuries here and there. When he's been on the field, he's been good. But this Bengals team absolutely needs to walk away with a win, so I got 15 confidence points on the Bengals to win the game. Chargers versus Cleveland, just one of those teams we were just talking about a team that's going to be competing for that wild card spot. The Chargers playing Cleveland. Cleveland, obviously, Jameis Winston last week stepped up to the plate, did something that we haven't seen a Browns QB do in a while, and he was actually solid. He was pretty solid. Cedric Tillman, big game. They still have Jerry Jeudy. They still have Elijah Moore. They still have David Njoku. They still have Nick Chubb. This is a decent team. I know they haven't been playing like it, but if Jameis Winston can figure it out, and if a QB was all they truly needed, this could be a good game here with the Chargers. Chargers, though, I just think they're the better team. at the moment, so I got 5 confidence points on it. I expect Justin Herbert to have a good game. I expect J.K. Dobbins to have a good game. They've been using Kamani Vidal. Ladd McConkey's starting to figure it out. The team there on the Chargers on the offensive side of the ball is starting to have some answers. And that does not bode well for the Browns. A Browns team that might be trading Myles Garrett. We don't know. So the Browns, a lot of uncertainty about them. I think they'll lose this game. 5 confidence points towards the Chargers. Let me get to New England, Tennessee. New England versus Tennessee. I think I'm going to switch my pick. My pick was the Patriots. For 4 confidence points. I think I'm going to take the Titans. That's tough. That's a tough game right there. And it's not tough because I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's tough because I think it's going to be a bad game that's close. The Titans, if Mason Rudolph plays, I think they win. If Will Levis plays, it becomes even more of a 50-50. Jacoby Brissett is now the starting QB once again in New England, but the last few weeks with Drake May hasn't been bad. He got a concussion, so he won't be here. But that really worries me about New England. How much involvement does Demario Douglas get? How much involvement does Hunter Henry get with Jacoby Brissett? Or are they just going to commit to the run and go Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, go do your thing? That's tricky for me. I'm going to ride with the Titans. My initial instinct was the Patriots, but I think I'm going to switch to the Titans because of the uncertainty there on the offensive side for the Patriots. Then we got 9 confidence points on the next one. Commanders versus the Giants. Commanders, obviously, the one on Hail Mary. I don't want to talk about it. Let's forget about it. We all seen it by now. Either way, the Giants have not been particularly great. Daniel Jones, it's Daniel Jones. He can have good games, he can have bad games, right? Malik Neighbors, obviously, at this point, maybe your best rookie receiver. Maybe some people have him above Marv Harrison, so there's that. Theo Johnson had a decent little week last week. Giants, Tyrone Tracy. This team is solid in like 2 or 3 years. Commanders, I think they just have the talent right now to win. Defense is pretty solid. Saw it last week against the Bears. Terry McLaurin is impossible to stop at this rate the way he's playing. Daniels has been really good. Commanders win this game pretty comfortably. I got 9 confidence points on it. Then we got New Orleans versus Carolina. Now, Derek Carr might be playing this game. Or maybe he's not. I don't know. But 8 confidence points here on the Saints. Panthers, not really sure what their QB situation is. They went to Bryce Young, and maybe they'll go back to Andy Dalton at some point. I don't know. They're a weird team. I can tell you, though, they traded Deontay Johnson. He's no longer there. It's pretty much just the Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette show now. Offense on the Panthers side is young, inexperienced. Maybe Jonathan Brooks gets involved this week. He should be really close to returning. It's either this week or I don't know if they have a bye, but he's going to be playing in at least their next 2 or 3 games. He could very well be playing in this game also because he should be about ready. Either way, though, Saints should win the game. Olave is going to be too much to handle. You look at Derek Carr, if he is the option, solid start to his season, you'd expect him to be able to rekindle some of that against a lesser Panthers defense there. So, give me the Saints to win. Denver versus Baltimore. Only 6 confidence points on this because Denver is different. Denver's a team, man. They're a team. They are a team to worry about. Good defense there in Denver. Pat Surtain. I don't know who's going to score on Pat Surtain. Zay Flowers. Who's going to get matched up against Pat Surtain? Is it going to be Deontay Johnson, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman? I have no idea. Broncos. The offensive side still worries me a little bit. You've started to see the last few weeks Troy Franklin become a big factor for them. You started to see Cortland Sutton. He had that one down week, but he's pretty much still that main target for Bo Nix. You're looking at a team that it's young, it's seemingly hitting on all cylinders at the moment, but they're going up against a Ravens team that is competing for a Super Bowl, let's be honest. Lamar Jackson, one of the best QBs in the league, just traded for him, by the way, in a dynasty league, so I need him. I traded, this was a rough trade for me on my side. I gave up Anthony Richardson, who obviously just got benched. He got benched. Did we already talk about the Colts? No, we haven't, but when we get to the Colts, we will. He got benched in favor of Joe Flacco, which I was not too upset getting rid of Anthony Richardson. He's been up and down, gets hurt a lot. Getting Lamar Jackson for Anthony Richardson was a great deal for me. But I also gave up Michael Pittman, who that one was rough. Blake Corum in a dynasty league, giving him up was rough. And then I gave up a first-round pick. Now, you might be like, well, that's an overpay. I have Kyren Williams on the team, and my 2 QBs were about to be Brock Purdy and Anthony Richardson was on the team, and Aaron Rodgers. I needed Lamar Jackson. I'm competing to potentially win. Corum, I figured, at best next year's when he starts to maybe eat into some of Kyren Williams' carries, and even then, Kyren Williams has been so good that you'd think there's touchdown upside. But I also have 2 first-round picks, so I'm not too concerned. Why not go get Lamar Jackson? With that being said, on my little rant, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to win. Derrick Henry, get him some touchdowns this week. I have Lamar and Derrick Henry, so it doesn't really matter who scores as long as one of them does. But, yeah, give me the Ravens to win. And then let's talk about a team that I absolutely despise. The Jaguars versus the Eagles. I do not like the Eagles, man. I have Saquon Barkley in that same dynasty league that I have Derrick Henry in. I have Lamar and Derrick Henry in 2 separate dynasties, by the way. But I have Saquon and Derrick Henry. Jalen Hurts, stop stealing Saquon Barkley's touchdowns, please. Please stop it. Saquon Barkley could have had like 30 points last week if you didn't stop doing the tush push. He had all the rushing yards to get you there, but then you just tush push. Stop it, please. Please. Eagles win this game against the Jaguars. Jaguars not very good. Got some injuries now. Brian Thomas, we're not sure on his status for the game. Gabe Davis, not sure on his status for the game. Believe Christian Kirk is out for the season. It's a rough time to be a Jaguars fan. Etienne hasn't looked good. Don't know if he's going to be able to go for this game. Very banged up. Not a lot of hope at the moment. Tanks Bigsby's probably going to be the guy there once again in that backfield. Other than that, not too much to look forward to unless you see maybe both Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr. active for this game and maybe Parker Washington steps up. But for the most part, not too high on this Jaguars team. Give me the Eagles to win. 14 confidence points on it. Eagles, we obviously know what they're going to do. They're going to get to the 1 yard line and tush push. Stop it, please. Please stop it. Please. We get to the Bears and the Cardinals. Now, everybody hating on the Bears, man. Everybody hating on the Bears. We're laughing stocks, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Still have a winning record. Still was able to stay into that game until the very end. By the way, yes, I know we lost the game on a Hail Mary. Yeah. They're the ones that hit the walk-off. They had control of that game until we scored late. But guess what? The Bears stayed in the game. They stayed in the game. They're going to stay in games. That's one thing I've realized with this team. They did it against the Texans. Even when the offense hasn't picked it up, they've stayed in games. The Bears are going to bounce back this week. They're going to beat the Cardinals. 7 confidence points on it. Don't care about Maserati Marv. Jalen Johnson's got that on lock. Don't care about James Conner. We got defensive line that can stop him. Those all might be wrong things, but the Bears are still going to keep it close. Give me the Bears to win. Lions versus Green Bay. Battle of the two enemies. The enemies from the NFC North. Don't like them. The Packers have not been good. Might be transitioning back to Malik Willis. Jordan Love got hurt. Not sure his status. Also haven't looked it up. He might be playing. He might be fine. I don't know. But the Lions, I know they have no Hutchinson for the rest of the year. Still the better team. No J-Mo this week either on that suspension. But offensively, you got Gibbs, you got Monty, you got Amon-Ra. The Lions are fine. The Lions will win. 10 confidence points on that. Rams versus Seattle. I have 11 confidence points on the Rams. I wouldn't have done that a couple weeks ago, but Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are healthy. They look good. They did good. Seattle, not a team that's been super impressive to me this year. Give me the Rams to win. 11 confidence points. That's another team to watch out for the wild card. We get to the Colts. Joe Flacco starting up against Sam Darnold. He gives them a better chance to beat the Vikings there. I still got 13 confidence points on the Vikings. Obviously, you have Jay Jettas there. You have Jordan Addison there. You got Aaron Jones having a good season. Sam Darnold's been pretty solid this season. I know he's cooled off a little bit, but he's still been pretty solid. The Colts, I think they keep it close with Joe Flacco. They don't win. Give me the Vikings. 13 confidence points on that. And we wrap it up on Monday Night Football with another Chiefs game. Stop making me watch the Chiefs, man. I don't want to watch the Chiefs. All I want to do is watch teams that I haven't seen very much of. And to be honest, I don't know who those teams are. Maybe let me see the Cardinals. Let me see the Cardinals game. I know the Bears are playing them this week, but I haven't got to see much Marv Harrison Jr. Maybe let me see... who else could we throw out there? These games this week suck, let's be honest. Maybe that is the best game. I would rather see the Bills versus the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. But the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. Chiefs win, 12 confidence points. Do I need to say anything? They're undefeated. Patrick Mahomes is really good. Travis Kelce's figuring it out. They picked up DeAndre Hopkins. The richer get rich. The rich get richer is what I meant to say. Pacheco, not sure how close he is, but Kareem Hunt's been really good in his place for the time being. Team's impossible to stop. Chiefs win. Pretty easy, pretty safe there. give me the Chiefs to win 12 confidence points. Anyways, thank you for watching. We'll have football on later tonight, so you will be seeing this video here shortly. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.